All new price predictions for Thursday on a lot of the bigger stocks, Apples, the Teslas, AMDs. Let's get into it with current analyst support and resistance levels as well. Let's start off with Apple. So Apple did have a nice push. Also, Google had a very good push as well to higher prices. Google's actually still going up. We'll talk about Google right after Apple. But Apple did have a bigger push. Now, be mindful, I'm still bullish on the market. The market is technically still bullish. If you look at the S&P 500, we are still bullish. We haven't broken any key support areas just yet. So we have to stay bullish. We have to keep our mind looking for more upside, more importantly, than trying to get bigger put swings on the downside, and then price starts running up, and then we lose on those plays because we are focusing on the wrong side of direction. So we have to stay bullish. That's what I am right now. I'm just bullish in the market. So we do have resistance on Apple at 237.25. Resistance 239.55. So you have two resistance levels. The first one is technically breaking, but I'm gonna leave both of these on here because that's like a high resistance area on Apple. Also be mindful, Apple's all-time high is around 260. That's like the bigger goal I want Apple to break out of. So if we can break out of both of these resistance levels tomorrow, then that might look good for Apple to reach up in the 244s. For Apple to continue pushing up to higher prices. That's what I'll kind of be looking out for on Apple, with like more call options and so forth, trying to play the higher sides. I'll do all that live in the Discord. You also have a smaller support at around like 236 that I'd watch out for on Apple as well. Now let's go to Google. Google literally rocketed up. We did sell some more of our Google Leaps, about 25% of our Google Leaps for over 270% gain. I still have 25% of those left. As you can see, September 3rd, that was today. We also scalped today. I did 8% on Google, 2% on AMD. The day before that, I lost 20% on Nvidia. And then on Friday, I did about 6 scalps, and I only lost one of those scalps that whole time. Very good day on Friday. You can see all that live, first link in the description, where you have my Discord. You have the monthly, elite, yearly, and lifetime memberships, so you get access to Discord and see me trade live every morning. But Google is literally at all-time highs, so there's not much I would do with Google in this range besides plain continuation. So with Google, and today was a little bit better of a continuation because it had the strength in the morning, so that's why we played it. But if you look at the time frame, it actually stalled out the rest of the day after that morning push, right? You see how it just kind of stalled right through here? We really didn't get any bigger pushes. So the best time for that continuation play was really the morning time. And where we played it created a resistance. So every morning I'm live, I give resistance areas, I give support areas, my entry prices, exit prices. So once it broke both of these areas, I bought calls right here, and then I actually sold them right here for 8% gain off of Google, literally within like a minute. Okay, so that was a Google play that I did today. That's all I pretty much see for Google, is if it gives another continuation play like it did here set up, then that might be the only thing. But other than that, I really don't see much on the Google front. Let's go to Tesla, kind of starting off with the Mag 7s. Tesla right now is pretty much in a no man's land, meaning there's really nothing that I see of new buying that I would do on Tesla right here. You do have support at 321, and you have resistance at 348.40. We're going to leave those there. I think Tesla needs to break one of these to get a little more better direction of where Tesla might want to go. I still have my long-term shares, my swing shares, and so forth. I do want some bigger calls on Tesla, but maybe not now. I think we need a little more strength push before I look to get those. And then if we go over Meta, kind of in the same Max 7s, resistance level about 747.85. That's about it. I really don't see much on Meta right there. And also Microsoft has support 503.10, resistance level 508.40. If we break that resistance, that might be some potential plays that I want to do with Microsoft, but you'll see all that once you join the Discord. But yeah, I think Microsoft also signed a 3-year, $6 billion deal with the U.S. GSA, providing federal agencies discounted access to its cloud and software, expecting $3.1 billion in first-year savings. So that's pretty good for Microsoft. Microsoft is a monster. I like Microsoft long-term. I'm holding it. I don't plan on selling any Microsoft long-term. I actually want to buy some more Microsoft, but I would like Microsoft probably to get down to like the 450s or so. Whenever the market kind of turns bearish, I think we might be able to get down there. Then if we go to Nvidia, support is around 169.35. Same support. We kind of bounced off that today. Tried to bounce off it here. We came down it right here around power hour. We bounced off that again. So nothing much on Nvidia that I would say anything new. All you have right now is that support. AMD support 155.50. Resistance level on AMD is around 168. 160. Those are levels I kind of watch out for AMD, any new potential plays. I'm kind of waiting for AMD to break one of these key levels as well. AMD had a little pull down. We're not really too heavy on the downside just yet. I would still like AMD to run up to the 190s, but AMD's just getting a little heavier than some stocks are, so we got to watch these levels pretty carefully, but nothing crazy that I want to do at AMD. Also, we have Nvidia, well, Palantir. Palantir ran up, touched both resistance levels, fell down, closed at the secondary support. So same levels on Palantir. Palantir has not moved in like a week and a half. There's nothing new that I can do on Palantir here. We need like more direction. So once we break out that secondary resistance level, which is around 160.85, then I'm looking for like more upside. If once we come down and break the support at 149.90, then I'm looking for more downside. So for now, I think I'm looking for more downside than up, unless we come and break those resistance levels. But these are the same 2 resistance levels and 2 supports on Palantir right now. No real like big change on them, at least not for now. Let's also go over the SP 500. SP 500 has resistance level 648.05. Support is right around 635.90. Those are your 2 areas on the SP 500. If we break that resistance, I'm going to assume SP 500 wants to go back up to all-time highs. And if we break the support, then I'm going to assume that SP 500 wants to actually continue dropping. So that's going to kind of let me know whether I should be doing calls or puts or so forth. And I'll be kind of waiting for those areas to kind of break. In between there, I don't really see too much to do that I like that much. Not really. Let's go to the banks. Banks are pretty slow. JPM's, Goldman Sachs's, Morgan Stanley's, Bank of America's. Those are pretty slow right now. If y'all want levels on the banks, let me know in the comment section down below. I might update levels on those. But for now, banks are pretty slow. Nothing much going on with them. And then if we go to SMCI, still at support, 40.30. Nothing has changed. SMCI, same support, same resistance level. I don't see anything new with SMCI right now. CRWV is breaking support. I think CRWV is going down to the 70s. So CRWV seems like for puts might be my main focus for it to continue going down and dropping lower. We'll kind of see if it continues in that range, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to break that support and probably trend down a little bit lower. BBAI has same support, 475, resistance 533. Nothing has changed on BBAI. Let's check Open. Open trying to get some strength, resistance 460, so it did break that resistance. Let's put a smaller resistance right around 545. We'll see how Open does there. Anything I like on Open, I don't know just yet. Open doesn't really interest me that much, but we'll see. If it breaks this resistance, then it might want to start pushing up in the 6s, maybe even go up to like the $7 range if Open can continue that strength. Airline wise, UAL had a nice pop today. They also broke resistance on UAL. The only thing on UNL is I really don't see a play that I like per se on UNL. So for now, I'm just kind of letting it move. The one I do have is American Airlines. They had a nice pop, but they're giving it back like they had the pop, right? But they're giving it back very quickly. So it's like, might as well not even have a pop, right? Because it comes back down literally ASAP. So still kind of holding shares of American Airline. We have resistance around 1380. We kind of tested that and fell down. Same levels on American Airline. Actually, I want to update a new support on American, like around 1310. But this is like the only airlines that I'm actually like playing for now, because you know you have Deltas and even Boeing's. Boeing doesn't really have much as well. Kind of the same levels on Boeing for now too. For any like potential plays that I see, I need Boeing to move a little bit more. Your new support, by the way, on Boeing is about 228.30. So let's put that on our Boeing chart. And then dividend wise, pretty chilling. Our dividend stocks are up. Overly, Altrios, AT&T, J&J, and so forth. So those are good. Consumer stocks like McDonald's, Walmart's, and so forth. I don't see much on McDonald's. Very sideways stock. Even like Walmart, like retail side, they are having some strength, but they're in a very stalled out period. So I'm trying to see what Walmart wants to do before I try to play any swings. I need a little more direction off of Walmart. Even like Costco, I need a little more direction. I have this bigger resistance level here around 993.90 that if it breaks that, it might get a little interesting. And then even Target's been trending down some more too. It's about to test that support at $90.65. If it breaks that support at $90.65, I'm going to assume that Target wants to trend down more and actually go down to like the low 80s, so like 83, 84. I'll kind of see of that end. I like Target long term though. I think eventually long term, it'll try to make its way back up in like the 2s, which might take a while, but once target starts moving, it can move pretty fast. Like this movement here, it can move pretty fast once it's ready to start moving. So I'm watching target longer terms, kind of in that retail side ish. This video will be a little shorter as well. And then if we go to, so gold is booming, silvers is booming. I'm still waiting for like the next play per se that I want on gold. So for now, I'm gonna clear the whole gold chart. Let's also go to silver. We have our support around 36.85. I'll leave that there. And then gold, I'm gonna take support off and clear the chart. I'm just kind of waiting for that next play. So gold, I sold all my golds today. Call options, we bought the calls down here, and we literally sold them all the way up here in like the 328-ish type of range, because gold has literally just had that big pump. So usually when gold has that big pump, it might want to like slow down a little bit and kind of give a better entry than me trying to buy it at these like all time, like literally all time highs. And I believe we sold those golds, our last 15%, at over 222% gains. We sold our last golds up here. So that was pretty good for gold. And I'm kind of looking for like the next plays on gold, but gold needs to get like a little softness to kind of set up for that and then continue the run. But yeah, so that was a nice prod on gold. Also watching silvers and oil. How's oil? Oil had a decent drop. Oil is pretty slow. Even Bitcoin's pretty slow. Nothing new on Bitcoin right now either. Trying to break smaller resistance. You have another smaller resistance on Bitcoin around 111.885. So other than that, keep the video short. Went over some of the bigger names that really moved the market. I think CRM had earnings today as well. They're down a little bit. I think CRM is going to be a decent longer term buy for me, but I think I want CRM below 200. So what I'm going to do is, let's clear the whole chart. Right now it's around 241. I think if CRM gets below 200, that'll be a decent longer term buy for me, where I want to start accumulating long shares. And then I'll try to hold CRM for some years for it to go back to all-time highs, which is around 84% gain from a 200 average. So that's what I'm kind of looking at for CRM. So we'll see if it continues that down movement from the earnings. Even like ACN is getting to some decent prices for longer term, SWK, Deere, and a lot of these stocks longer term that people usually don't talk about. But also like Visa and MasterCard, these stocks usually don't drop. So usually we get 15-20% drops. I like to average in on some of these and kind of just hold them over a long time. All they do is really go up. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. And always remember, no recommendation to buy or sell anything, just for educational purposes only. So do not trade anything you see or hear in the video. Catch you guys on the next one.